Hey there everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of my Ocarina of Time Randomizer Let's Play. And today this is a post-commentary because I didn't realize that I forgot to start recording my voice until after I finished recording the footage. And I actually went ahead and skipped ahead to 1 minute and 45 seconds. I'm actually writing that down so I will remember that because I am doing this commentary as I am watching through the footage. And you just saw that I used the hover boots to get through this, which is something that we normally do not have at this point when we are playing the base game. Since normally you need to have the fire and water medallion in order for you to get the Nocturna Shadow and enter the Shadow Temple. So I just threw a bomb in order for me to activate that switch to get up to here. And now we go into the room with the rolling boulders. Certainly a very aggravating room to get through, because it's certainly very hard to avoid getting hit by any of these boulders. But I did pretty well in that point. So now I'm going to rescue another Goron who is locked up. And then we open this small chest, and inside of it is a bigger quiver, the big quiver as it just called itself. And oh, I got hit. Yeah, very difficult to go through that maze. And now I'm going over to this point to unlock another Goron who is locked up. And of course, a lot of the time when you unlock that cage, you can actually see outside of the boundaries. I think that Really Frickin' Clever had mentioned that when he was doing his 64 Things Wrong with Ocarina of Time video series quite a long time ago, where he had a joke about how there are cases in which you can actually see outside of the boundaries of the game. And I actually used my shield here, even though it was very hard to see, but surprisingly, the boulder did not hit me. Yeah, in that scene I tried to see if I could summon the Scarecrow, but I couldn't do it. So now I use the bow to hit the eye switch in order to open the door that leads to the chest that I think either usually holds the dungeon map or the compass. I think it's the dungeon map that it normally holds. But this time it had a small key, which I think is gonna be the last small key that I will be able to find for a while, and you'll see much later on. So, what I've been up to lately, besides doing the recording for my Let's Plays, well, right now I'm only doing Ocarina of Time Randomizer. I've not done any other Let's Plays. I've done a couple of Let's Plays alongside Ocarina of Time Randomizer, but I've decided that until I finish with Ocarina of Time Randomizer, whenever that may be, I'm not going to start doing any other Let's Plays. So you do see that there is a locked door, but I ran out of keys at the moment. Now I jump over here to attack this slug. And I tried to see if I could use the Maganon Hammer, but it didn't work, so using a bomb instead. And I drop down there to unlock another Goron who is locked up. in the jail cell. You know, it is kind of funny for me to be watching this footage, because I have the audio turned off during the recording of this, but the audio is going to be present for the actual video itself. It's just that when I am recording this voice recording, I'm watching over the silent footage. So we make our way back to the top here, and I really cannot believe that that slug enemy came back to life, especially when it was right in front of the part of the hole that I was coming out of. And there's another Goron that we freed. Now, a lot of you guys may or may not know this, but I did, not too long ago, create a Patreon account and a Twitch account. My plans there is that I hope that people will support me on Patreon so I can earn some extra money. And I also created a Twitch account to do some live streams, also for the purpose of earning money, although I think I need to become a partner over on Twitch. I think I can also become a partner on YouTube, but I'm kind of being a bit cautious about doing that for the time being, but plans could change in the future. So now I am back here where I'm going to use the Scarecrow song and bring the Scarecrow up so I can then get another rupee chest. Well, it normally contains rupees, but it's going to contain something different in this randomizer seed. Speaking of rupees, I not too long ago had done a challenge where I went to see how many rupees it takes to beat The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And it was a bit less than I was predicting, especially since I kept on predicting or assuming that some dungeons had more silver rupee challenges or silver rupee puzzles than they actually had. And I'm not going to say how many rupees I determined it does take in order to beat Ocarina of Time, at least without glitches. So check out that video to find out how many rupees it does take, or at least how many rupees it takes based upon my experience. And I also plan on doing the same thing with Majora's Mask at some point. Maybe a very long time later, like once the previous video about how many rupees it takes gets a certain number of views, like maybe after 500 views or 1,000 views. You know, it just all depends. So that chest right there had the Fire Temple boss key. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and jump straight to going to the boss because after this I had discovered that there were no more small keys for me to pick up, so I assumed that the next small key that I needed to find was going to appear in place of the heart container after you beat Volvagia. So I'm going to cut to Volvagia right now. And here we are at the boss door of the Fire Temple. And we now begin the fight against Volvagia. And since I am fighting a dragon boss, I think that I will also bring up about something that I had mentioned in what would have been the original recording if I remembered to turn the recording on, is that I had been working on a fanfiction series called Dragon Squadron Draconiture, which is a fanfiction series that is basically Power Rangers, but we have cartoon animals as the Rangers. And I have been doing that for probably 9 years now. I've been bringing out a new series every single year, and Draconiture is the series that I have been working on more recently. And as far as the writing of that series is concerned, the most recent chapter that I have released is chapter 27, but the most recent chapter that I have completed is chapter 30, and there's going to be 40 chapters in that series, so I certainly am looking forward to getting all of that done, though I am taking a break to work on some other things at the moment. Especially since there's an ending for Draconiture that I actually had planned ever since I first thought up the idea, but I'm not going to reveal what those plans were, because I don't want to give off any spoilers for anyone who wants to check out that series. But it's certainly going to be interesting. And I've also been working on some other fan art lately. There's one that I have in the works right now. Not sure if I will have it finished by the time I get this video out. And Volvagia is defeated! Wow. It certainly is unbelievable that I basically had to beat the boss only after getting half of the temple done. You know, when Volvagia burns up like that and we see a skeleton, I'm not sure if that is something that is satisfying, disturbing, or maybe a mix of both. And as I predicted, the small key that we needed to go further into the temple did appear in place of the heart container. And we had gotten the forest medallion from doing that, which means that when we go back to the Temple of Time, we will get whatever item will appear in place of the Prelude of Light. So I'll meet you guys back at the locked door that we were at before, so hold on a moment. Alright, so here we are now at that locked door. And now we head on into the room that has the fire maze. And this is a point in which I do some more sequence breaking by using the hover boots to just get all the way over there and then just slamming down that pillar. And I also activated that switch to open up that door, but I decided not to go that way just yet, as there was still another chest that I needed to open up that potentially could hold an important item. And I think that it actually did. Oh, another key. But of course, with the sequence breaking, there is a door that we can actually skip out on in the Fire Temple, which is one of the great things about the randomizer. Now to unlock that door again, and go and free the Goron that is imprisoned within this room. And play the Song of Time to get this block of time to disappear. Or teleport, rather. And press down on that rusty switch. Who's got my rusty switch? You do. There's another small key. Now we go through here to activate that that switch to turn off that firewall. From some context, that kind of sounds bad because a firewall, figuratively, is something that prevents a virus from getting through. But in this case, I was talking about a literal firewall. Now we use a bomb to blow up this wall, so we can fight against the hell of a boss mini-boss. Yeah, I did mention that in the last episode when we fought against the other mini-boss like this one. I do wonder why I can only jump slash him once before he jumps back into the fire. I guess it probably depends. I think it's because he will jump back in after he's taken on enough damage, and apparently the sword jump slash was enough damage for him to do that. That in order for me to beat him any further, he first needs to go back into the fire wall so he can get that large fiery body again. And now there is this section right here, and I remember that I didn't bring it up as I was running through here because I was worried that I would fall off. Oh. And I had mentioned about how it does look like it's so hard to go through there without falling off, but I was able to get through with that quite a lot of times whenever I play the game. But I do predict that a lot of first-time players, particularly younger players, probably found it very hard to get through there without falling off, but I don't think I ever had any problem with getting through there. And I think that could probably be because I was a much older kid when I first got this game. Right, now to pick up that box. And I think I remember that when I placed the box down, it kind of looked like it wasn't actually on the Switch despite opening up, but then as soon as I move, the door opens up, or closes again, indicating that the box was actually not on the Switch as securely as I thought it was. So now this is the point in which we fall down all the way to the room right before the boss. And I decided to just exit the dungeon through the boss exit, because I was right here, so we may as well do that. And I think that this is going to be the point in which I am going to close off this video, although there is the Great Fairy Fountain that I decided to go and visit at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and close things off here. So, if you guys want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by following the link in the description, and also follow me on Twitch to catch my live streams when I eventually decide to get to them. And I am not sure how soon the next video in this series is going to come out, but it will come out whenever this episode manages to reach 100 views. So thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you again next time. First I'm gonna show you what it was I got, and it was the Lens of Truth. That's pretty nice. Alright, I will see you guys next time.